Hey, what's up everybody? Gear Guy here with another flashlight review. Today we're going to be looking at the Quark Smart by FourSevens, so make sure you stick around. Alright guys, we are here with the FourSevens Quark Smart, of course, so I want to thank you for hanging out. I definitely appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. Basically what we'll do, go ahead and unbox it, and then we'll talk about some specs, the user interface and operation of the light, do some beam shots, and then just kind of give you my opinion on the light. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, packaging and presentation, definitely really like. I think it's pretty cool how the packaging makes the flashlight look like it's floating. I think it's pretty neat. So on the back, you've got some specs. I'm not going to bore you with that right now. We'll talk about that here in just a second. So go ahead and open it up. Here you have your accessories. We'll look at that in just a moment. And then, of course, the light itself. So let's go ahead and take a look at what comes in this accessory kit. So, of course, you've got your user manual. It also comes with a nylon sheath, which pretty cool. Construction looks good enough. You've got a little belt loop here, about 2 inches, so it'll fit conceivably. If I had to guess, I would say it'll probably fit on a duty belt if you needed to. And then it's got a plastic little D-ring up here at the top. If you wanted, you can, I guess, attach it to a lanyard. Little FourSevens logo right there. Also comes with a lanyard, and the lanyard is made out of, feels like a neoprene material, and then of course it is adjustable there. It also comes with this this little rubberized handle, and just to kind of show you real quick what it's used for, or I guess I should say what I'm assuming it's used for, because there's nothing in the user manual that says that it is. So basically creates a little handle. I know a lot of times we see the rings, so that if you're using this in conjunction with a firearm, you can let go of the light and do a mag change or whatever. This gives you the ability to do that. The problem that I have with it, and I haven't really done any testing with it, so you'll have to forgive me, but the problem that I have is I have large or extra large hands, and I don't know if you can see, but I mean, I kind of push on it, and what it does, it causes the rubber to kind of slip off of the end. So haven't really put it to a tremendous amount of hard use or anything like that to see how it performs in longevity, but in theory I think it's pretty cool, and those of you guys who have smaller hands, that'll probably be pretty advantageous for you. It's obviously gonna make it a little bit more difficult to get it in and out of the pocket just because it is a rubber material, so it's going to get caught on clothing or on fabric. So just something to kind of keep in mind. So that's pretty much it in terms of accessories and what you get with the light. So let me go ahead and bore you for a second with some specs about it. So it is made of aircraft grade aluminum, and it is hard anodized, so the finish is definitely going to last. I want to show you it does have some pretty good knurling along the body in different places. I think it looks pretty cool in my opinion, of course, and there you'll see the switches lit up. So, specs. Made out of aluminum, like I mentioned. It is 4.8 inches in length, so definitely small enough to be an EDC size. And it's pretty lightweight too. Weighs in at 1.74 ounces. Powered by two CR123s. They are included. You just have to unscrew the tail cap and take some plastic off of it, and batteries are good to go. So you are going to have to use CR123s. You're not going to be able to get an 18650 in it, like I know a lot of guys tend to do with two CR123 flashlights. So again, no 18650 compatibility with this particular light. The LED is a Cree XML2. You do have, let's see if we can focus, orange peel reflector. So it's not going to be a distance light. You're not going to get a lot of throw on it, but the beam is super smooth. A really, really nice flood on this light. It is waterproofed to IPX8 standards, so those of you guys who aren't familiar, basically that means that you're going to be able to submerge it down to 3 meters for up to 30 minutes. So waterproofing on it is definitely good. Highest output, 950 lumens, which to me, really, really impressive with a light, or for a light that is this small and this lightweight. So definitely has really, really good output. You also do have a Moonlight mode of 1 lumen, and that's definitely nice for when it's pitch black outside and you need to read something or just do something right in front of you, because you're going to get a tremendous amount of runtime out of it, and of course it's not going to burn your eyes or hurt your eyes or mess up your night vision really bad or anything like that. So you do have a strobe, an SOS, and a couple of beacon or burst modes on it, and we'll talk about those here in just a moment. No strike bezel or anything. There again, to me, that's not really important, so I don't really mind that, but I know some guys do really like to see one. You're not going to get it with this particular light. Lanyard hole down there at the tail cap, and then of course your switch here at the end. Even though the switch protrudes beyond the actual body of the light, because it's nice and flat, you're still going to be able to do a tail stand on it, which I definitely like. To be completely honest, I prefer a light that's able to do a tail stand, so I definitely dig that. And then of course you've got 2 switches, one here at the rear and then one on the side. So let's go ahead and talk about the user interface, how it works, and what I think about it. So like I just mentioned, 2 switches on it. The one here at the rear is basically a tactical switch, so momentary only, and then here at the front is constant on. I do want to show you the instructions. Obviously this is a quote-unquote smart flashlight, and those of you who aren't familiar, you can actually connect this to the FourSevens app via Bluetooth if you have an iPhone. So it is currently only compatible with iOS, no Android compatibility, and I did check with FourSevens and there is no plan to connect it to Android. So to me, that is actually a really big letdown, because the instructions that come with this don't really do a good job whatsoever in explaining the user interface, and to me it was a little bit confusing trying to get it figured out. And I think part of that is just due to the fact that FourSevens kind of relied on the app to show people how to use the light, would be my guess. I could be wrong, but there again, I don't have an iPhone. I use Android, and obviously I can't really get the full effect of this flashlight because I don't have the device that they use. So I want to show you the instructions real quick, just so you kind of get an idea. I know it's probably going to be blurry a little bit, so basically just tells you press the side switch to turn the light off. It'll maintain the same output mode. Pressing and holding the tail cap will activate it momentarily. Change output levels, double click the side switch, and then after that it says, please note, to get the most out of your new Quark Smart, download the FourSevens Smart Devices app, and then basically explains what you can do, shows you your remaining runtime, your battery life, set proximity alarms, really cool stuff that this light is capable of, but I can't do it because I do not have an iPhone. And this just continues to talk about some of the things that you can do with the app. So as you can see, there's nothing in here really in detail about how to actually use the light and what the modes are and how to get to them. So for me, as much as I love this light, that is a huge letdown. So we'll move on beyond that. I'll show you how it works, at least without the app, for those of you guys who run Android like I do. So you have a couple of different options. Obviously, your tail switch is momentary only, and it took me forever to figure out how to change the mode there, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. So you can single click the button and that'll turn it on. Click it again, turns it off. Pretty straightforward. And it does have memory, so wherever you stop, it's going to go back to that same mode when you turn it on. Definitely dig that. Really nice. So you can hold the button down, and that's going to give you your Moonlight, and then you can hold it and it's just basically going to ramp up from there. Goes through about 7 different levels, I believe. So I'll go ahead and do that and show you what it looks like. And again, I'm just holding the button down. So let's go through there. Alright, I'm going to count them this time. So Moonlight is, we'll call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different settings. So that cycles between them all. The problem with that, not really a problem, but what I don't like about it is you hold it down, cycle through, get where you want. Let's say, this is a good setting for you. This is where you want it. When you click and turn the light off, it's not going to go back to this setting. It's going to go back to where we were before. Obviously, that's a little bit brighter. And to get back, you're going to have to hold it and cycle through. Don't like that. I think that's kind of a pain, but not really a tremendous deal. So just showed you how to cycle through the brightness settings by holding the switch. The other thing that you can do is double click, and that's going to cycle through modes again. It's not going to go through 8 brightness levels like we just saw. I think it only goes through maybe 3 or 4, and then accesses your strobe, your SOS, and your beacons. So let's go ahead and go through there. Double click, double click, double click, SOS, strobe, one of your beacon patterns, and then another beacon. And then we're back at Moonlight. So if we turn it off now, we're going to be in the Moonlight setting. So in order to set what you want the side switch to do, you're going to double click and cycle through all of those modes. So you can actually set it up to where the side switch activates strobe or SOS or one of the beacons or one of the different brightness levels, as you can see. So I'm going to cycle through. Again, this is the high setting. We'll turn it off and then back on, and that's where you're at. So kind of the same thing. We went back to Moonlight, click to turn it off, and that's where we are. So I hope that makes sense, guys. It is a little bit confusing. Took me a while to figure it out, but I mean, it's not terrible. You definitely get a good bit of functionality. I really like being able to hold the switch down and cycle through. I definitely like that. So also took me even longer to figure out how to set up the tail switch. And basically what you're going to do with that, turn the light on. Well, let's go back to Moonlight. Cycle through. So here we are at Moonlight. Whatever you want the tail switch to control, once you get there, as you go through that double click cycle, you're going to press the side switch 3 times really quickly. So here we are at Moonlight. We're just going to triple click 1, 2, 3, turn it off, and press in the tail switch. And that's what mode you're going to be at. So try it again. Ramp it up a little bit. Put it on this medium setting. Triple click. Click to turn it off. And we should be back. So personally, being that it's a tactical light, I prefer to have the tail switch set up on strobe, just because for me, I personally believe that a light can be used as a weapon, and the first thing that I'm going to do if faced with a defensive situation is try to blind the person who's trying to attack me, and obviously strobe is going to be the best way to do that. For everyday little EDC tasks, if I need the light, it's no big deal just to use the side switch. So I really dig the fact that I can have this light set up this way, because if I'm holding a gun or whatever, the easiest way for me to blind somebody is just going to be hit the tail switch, throw a strobe in their face, and leave the situation. But again, everyday tasks, if I need a light, no big deal, just to hit the side switch. So we'll change it back to strobe, turn it on, cycle through. So again, this is something worth noting too, just now thinking of it. Turn it on using the side switch in whatever setting you're at. When you double click to cycle through, it's always going to start back over at Moonlight. So double click, and there you go. And we're going to take it to strobe. 1, 2, 3, turn it off, and now we have strobe set up. We're going to cycle back out of that. So that's pretty much it in terms of operation. Like I said, unfortunately the instructions that come with it don't really do a good job at all of explaining how to set it up and program it, especially with the tail switch. I'm hoping that the app goes through that in a little bit more detail, but once again, because I don't have access to it, I can't really speak on it. Love the flashlight. It's super bright for the small package. Really can't say enough good things about basically the punch that this light packs to be such a small light. Really like it. One of the issues that I had with the light, I want to hit on this real quick. FourSevens, of course, sent me the light to evaluate and test. One of the issues that I had was the tail switch was too difficult to press. I basically had to crank down on it and put, all my strength into pressing the tail switch. So reached back out to him, and David there, great guy. It was maybe 11:30 at night. He responded pretty much immediately, said that he would get a replacement shipped out, and said that there was a problem with that particular light. So I can't say enough good things about their service. You really aren't going to see anybody, especially a president of a company, who's going to do that. So that really spoke volumes to me about the quality of their service and how much they want to take care of customers. So that's pretty much it for the tabletop of the Quark Smart. Definitely a really cool light. I love it. I love their service. Can't say enough good things about them. So we're going to go ahead and take the light outside and do some beam shots, and of course just show you what it looks like at night. Obviously that's kind of important, so let's head out now. Alright guys, we are outside with the Quark Smart. Gonna go ahead and do some beam shots for you, show you how it performs outside. So first thing of note, like we mentioned at the tabletop, it does have an orange peel reflector, so you're not really going to get a tremendous amount of throw out of it, or a lot of distance out of it. What it does do well is lights up a tremendous amount of area. So let's go ahead and take a look. So if you haven't seen any of my other flashlight videos, basically the setup here, I've got a tree that's about 25 or so yards away, with some stuff piled up underneath it. And basically what we're going to do is just cycle through the modes and see what we can see. So go ahead and turn it on. I do want you to see it is on Moonlight. Can't see anything, obviously. This is just 1 lumen. So what I'm going to do, since this light has a couple of different operation methods, I'm just going to do the hold the switch down method and just let it cycle through, and you can see. So again, still on Moonlight, so we're going to hold it down and cycle through. So there you go, you see that tree. Let's swing it out a little bit. There is another tree right about here that's probably 75 or so yards away. Obviously we can't really see that, so let's cycle through again. Yeah, the camera doesn't really pick it up very well, but to the naked eye, you can definitely see it. Lights up a huge amount of area, and again, because it has that orange peel reflector, it is a really smooth flood. So there again, that tree about 25 or so yards away. Now we'll cycle it back down. We're on Moonlight. Double click, there's that medium setting, double click again and again. So huge amount of light. You just don't get that focused beam. So that's pretty much for beam shots outside. I do want to show you a couple indoors as well, so let's move inside. Alright, we are inside now with the Quark Smart. I want to show you the beam pattern indoors and something that I noticed about it. So, alright, do have the Moonlight mode on. The wall over there is probably 7 yards or so away. I can see it, but the camera's not picking it up. So same thing we did outside, we're just going to cycle through. Hold the button down. So let's do it again. And here we are on high. So the camera makes it look like you do get a really bright hot spot, but I mean, you do get a little bit of a circle, but it's not nearly as pronounced as it shows in the camera, and it is pretty smooth. So let's cycle down, double click, and again. I'm going to shine it at the ceiling, and I do have pretty tall ceilings in here, but on the high setting, definitely lights up the entire room. Alright, so that is it for the Quark Smart by FourSevens. Really great light. Like I said, I definitely enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff. I would definitely appreciate it. So I will see you next time.